beyond the skies. You and I, we're breaking bounds on Baobab.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? I believe you're having an amazing day. I want to thank everyone for joining us for phase 5 of our remote work workshop. My name is Melvin Muna. I'm from Kenya, and I will be your host today. I'll be taking you through a very interesting and important session that will guide you in your journey as a remote worker. So I want to thank everyone for making the time to be here. As you've seen in our promotions, there's an amazing session that is ahead of you, and we will cover the strategies for adjusting seamlessly to a remote work environment. So before I proceed any further, I'd like to inform you that we have live French translation. So if you're a French speaker or you are comfortable listening in French, use the interpretation button on your screen and move over to French live interpretation. If you're comfortable in English, stay on the main channel and you'll be able to enjoy the session in English. And also, I'd like to inform you that this is phase 5 of the workshop, but you're also starting phase 4 of our Remote Opportunities Challenge. This challenge gives one person the opportunity to benefit from one-on-one mentorship on how to succeed in remote work with myself. And this is the 4th phase of this mentorship opportunity. And we have the winner of the previous remote opportunities mentorship program, Ishimwe. She's here. Ishimwe, I'd just like to recognize your presence and thank you for being such a wonderful mentee. And the same opportunity awaits someone else today. So to win that opportunity, we have a quiz for you at the end of this event, and your performance will determine. It's your performance that will determine if you will win. So we will compile your performance today for this event, and the second session and the third session, and whoever emerges as the leading candidate will get this opportunity. So pay attention. The quiz is based on things that will be covered here, so it's not foreign things that will be covered. So pay attention and you will win the opportunity. Also, I want to inform you that I have some resources that are prepared for you, notes based on this session. So people usually ask if they can have the recording, if they can have the presentation. So I've gone ahead and prepared notes for you. It's basically what we will cover today, but it's also a little bit deeper, so you can dive in and read deeply to understand what we will cover. Also, I have a toolkit for you. So my goal is to guide you from knowledge into action, and I have a toolkit. This toolkit has a couple of reflective questions, and you answer those questions to plan your own journey in remote work, specifically on how to transition remotely. So I'll be sharing these resources at the end of the session. So stay here till the end and you will receive them. So without much further ado, let me share my screen so that we can start today's session. So I believe you can all see my screen. So let's get started with today's show. So we are covering, our session today is on how to adjust seamlessly to a new remote work environment. So if you've gotten the opportunity to work remotely, you don't just remote work is different. It has its own fair of challenges. You're not in one-on-one contact with other workers, so there is that process of adjusting to that new work environment. If you've not done this before, it will be a challenge, but this session is all about guiding you on how to make this transition seamlessly. So I've worked remotely for some time now, and I know what it takes to adjust seamlessly to a new remote role. And I've also been in touch with a friend who recently landed a new job remotely for a US organization, and she has shared with me insights that are sprinkled within this presentation. So pay attention and you will learn also from her. So my name is Melvin. I'm the founder and chief leadership consultant at the Kingdom Leadership Group. So this is an organization that I started this year. It's focused on coaching and mentorship. I discovered that I have a gift for coaching and mentorship and helping others succeed based on using my experience, using the skills that I possess and my achievements. So I want to focus on that side so that I can play my part in building a successful Africa. So I have 14 years of leadership experience. I started leading when I was so young, and 8 of these years are in remote work. So I'm happy to share my knowledge with you and to guide you succeed as a remote worker. So let me just introduce the Kingdom Leadership Group to you just briefly. So this is a coaching and mentorship platform that aims to help individuals discover and develop their personal leadership so that they can maximize their destiny. We offer one-on-one and group coaching sessions, specializing in remote work, career coaching, and personal leadership development. So we've collaborated with Baobab since 2012 to deliver a workshop on remote work, and this is the 5th phase, and we're happy to report that thousands have benefited from our coaching sessions. So this is phase 5, and I have 3 promises for you. 3 promises for you in phase 5. First of all, if you'll be with us from the start till the end, you will learn what it takes to succeed as a remote worker. That I guarantee you. If you concentrate, you pay attention, you will learn what it takes to succeed as a remote worker. Another promise I have for you is I will guide you from knowledge into action. This is knowledge you are receiving, but it needs to be translated into action for it to benefit you. So that's why I'm creating toolkits for each session that we will have so that you can create your own personalized journey wherever you are as you adjust into the world of remote work. I also make this promise that I will be there to support you if you need me in anything about remote work. So my contacts, I'll be sharing them in the resources that I'll be sharing with you. So if you need any help, just get in touch and we'll work together to help you adjust to remote work. So this is what we'll cover today. So this session will cover, first of all, most importantly, how to adjust to a new remote role, the tips, the strategies. The other important thing we'll cover is adjusting to a self-service mindset. This is a mindset you need to adopt if you're going to work remotely. And I'm going to show you how to develop that mindset, because you are working at home, you're working alone, you don't have team members you don't have an organization to provide for you resources like office supplies. You have to get them yourself. That's a self-service mindset. You need to have it. I'll be sharing strategies on how to build that. Then we'll cover mistakes that you need to avoid when adjusting to a new remote role. So let's get down to business. First of all, a few opening statements. So when you land a remote role, it's easy during the probation period. It's easy to go with the flow, try to do just what you're told and not rock the boat. But if you want to make that transition smooth, when you land a remote role, you need to do more. Remember, you are alone. You don't have someone to quickly, you cannot look at what someone is doing and say, I'm going to copy that. Here, you have to take initiative and manage yourself, manage your work, and ensure that you're delivering on your assignments and being an effective member of the team. You need to do more than just doing as you're told. You need to do more than that. And that is what we are covering today. So we are going to go straight into what we will, into a reflective question here. So I want you to help me with this reflective question. So let's say you've landed a new remote role. You've never worked remotely before, and you don't make an effort to adjust to that new environment. What do you think will happen? You've landed a remote role. You've not been proactive in learning how to introduce yourself, how to meet and interact with your colleagues effectively. What do you think will happen in the first few days of your job? So share your answers in the chat. I want you to help me build the case for what we are learning today. What do you think will happen when you don't make an effort to adjust to your new remote work environment? So anyone who wants to help us here, share in the chat. Anyone or okay, yeah, they're coming in, they're coming in. Mamadou is saying you will be non-productive. Very true. If if Eulua is saying you lack the motivation to work, yes, that is true. Helen is saying there will be health challenges due to stress. Yeah, stress will you'll be stressed because you're not effective, you're not productive, and this will bring about health challenges. That can happen. Marius is saying your colleagues will think you are not prepared to work with them. True, very important. Adolf is saying low productivity, quite true. And Tegbao is saying, oh, that is in French. Ishume is saying you'll be mentally stressed. Very true. So these are, Remis is saying you'll mostly lose track and probably get dropped out of the job due to under quality assessment submission. Very true, very true, very true. So when you land a new remote role, remember you are alone, you are at home. When you don't take initiative to find out how you can fit into that team, you will struggle with your work. So this builds the case for what you are learning today, how to make that smooth adjustment to your new remote role. So let me, yeah, Ishim is saying a lot of challenges, true. So first of all there'll be communication breakdowns. Remember, when you're working remotely, your team members probably have different preferred methods for communication. Your boss probably only wants you to reach out to him through email, and you are there trying to contact them on WhatsApp. Probably your colleagues like it when you share a project updates on Slack and you are there using email. There'll be that communication breakdown and you will not be effective in your work. There'll also be decreased productivity because most works are collaborative. And if you cannot communicate effectively with others, you'll realize that my productivity decreases. There'll also be, you'll not have enough knowledge to do your work because most of the knowledge you need to do your work, other colleagues have it. Other colleagues who have worked in that organization for long have that knowledge that you need, and you need to be able to communicate with them effectively so that they can share it with you. So if you don't take time to adjust seamlessly, to make your presence felt, to make other people know that you are there, you will struggle in your new role. So this is the case that we are building for what we are covering today. So let's dive into the strategies that will help you adjust to this new remote role. First of all, you need to be friendly and introduce yourself. I've worked remotely for a long time, and I can tell you for a fact that introductions, you'll apply for that job, you learn that job, and then after that they'll start giving you assignments. No one will introduce you to your team members. You'll just hear, oh, so-and-so is here. Can you get in touch with him and do this work? So that introductions will not really happen. So you have to be that person to make that proactive effort to get to know your team members, to get to know the people who can help you with certain assignments. So most likely you'll be placed in a common channel, probably like Slack. So on Slack, you will see the entire team. And in your introduction, they'll probably tell you these are the people you'll mostly be working with. So reach out to them, introduce yourself, say, I'm so and so, these are my interests, this is my background, and I believe we will be working together and on certain projects because I'm a new member here. That way they know that, oh, Kevin is part of us now. So when I receive an email or communication from Kevin, I should not start wondering who is this guy here. So it's really important to be proactive and introduce yourself. Do it in a friendly manner. Your organization will also have bonding activities online. Participate in them so that people can know that there's someone new here, so that when you reach out to them, they'll not start wondering who is this guy? Who is this guy? I'm seeing a certain Kevin reaching out to me. I've never heard of him. Who is he? So it's really important that you reach out. I can tell you for a fact that those introductions, you'll have to make them yourselves. People, you'll get that job, then you will not be introduced to probably the entire team. You'll just see people coming in. So this one, you'll collaborate with this person here. So here's the email. Find out how you will do that job. That introduction where they say, so we have a new member, that will not happen. That happens only in physical work environments. But in remote work, it's on you to reach out to your team members and let them know who you are and what you do, what team you are on, what assignments you will likely be handling, and such kind of stuff. So here is a tip that I have for you. So set casual catch-ups. Set casual catch-ups. So if you are informed that you'll be working with certain people in your projects, WhatsApp them, DM them, set them, and introduce yourself, and probably jump on a quick call so that you can introduce yourself and you can get to establish a relationship of how you'll be doing your work. I know this is difficult because sometimes people feel that like they're shy, but if you want to succeed in remotely, you need to be doing this. It's difficult, but my job is not to tell you what's easy. My job is to tell you what's good for you and what will help you. So once you know the people you'll be working closely with, just send them a DM, say if you can have a chat, and you can even have a WhatsApp call, just a simple call, introduce yourself, say that you are open to correction, you're open to learning, and if they have any materials that can help you in your job, they can share it with you. So it's very important that you be proactive, initiate these catch-ups, and get to know your colleagues. The second thing you need to do, the strategy number 2, is to observe how things are done in your new organization. So who are the people who seem to be making all the decisions? How do people interact? How do people send assignments? What are they looking for in assignments, in projects? So observe things, observe the nature of communication, observe the things they do as a ritual. Organizations have these things. Probably they wake up and they send greetings first before anything is shared, anything is discussed. Some even have they send a prayer. Someone sends a prayer. So observe how things are done and fit in and align with that. So the first few moments should be observing how your new organization does things. And another thing you need to pay attention at these initial stages is the work culture. So does this organization value independence or collaboration? These are two work cultures. They're very distinct, and I don't think there is a middle ground. Some organizations just value independence. You are given your assignment, do it, complete it, send it. Don't start reaching out for ideas, for suggestions. Just do your work, give me the finished work. Some organizations value collaboration so much. If that thing is not collaborative, if it doesn't feature the opinions of everyone in the team, they cannot accept the project. So quickly learn what the organization likes. Why is it important to learn the culture in terms of collaboration versus independence? It will help you anticipate your managers. What is your manager looking up? The kind of results your manager is looking up for. So we know a manager values collaboration. You know that if I'm given a project, I'll need to, first of all, get the opinions of other team members. And then when I reach out to my manager with the final output, I should show how I've reached out to other members and gotten their opinion on this project. Also, it will help you, give you the confidence to tackle your assignments. So if you know this organization values independence, you know that once I'm given an assignment, I can log off, I can go research and get good content for my work, and I know my manager will be good with this. So it's important that you observe the lay of the land and see how things are done. It will really help you with your work, and it will make you more confident in your assignments. So here is a brief difference of what you can expect in a team that values independence and one that values collaboration. If it's independence, you'll be making independent decisions. You'll be working independently most of the times, and you'll be coming up with suggestions and recommendations on your own with very limited guidance. If that team, you see that it values collaboration, they expect you to communicate with almost everyone to get the opinions of other people. They want teamwork, they want communication, and that communication to be noted down. They probably even expect you to have a call or something with the members so that you can get the consensus from the team. So these are some of the things you can expect between these work cultures. The third thing that will help you adjust seamlessly to a new remote role is to learn the processes, the systems, and the business well. What processes does this new organization that I'm working for use? Every organization has systems. Every organization that know what they're doing, they have systems, because systems make results predictable. Systems also ensure that they can get the same kind of results over and over again, whether it's a new employee, whether it's someone who is seasoned. As long as they use those systems and processes, they will get this certain results. So organizations really value systems and processes. So it's on you to learn these systems and processes. Most of the times, you'll be onboarded. There'll be an onboarding week, and they'll tell you what they expect from you, how the company operates. So this is the time you need to pay attention. Pay attention, take notes, and make sure that you learn the systems well. Learn about project management, how are projects handled. Learn about the approval procedures. Probably before you move to the next, you move to implementing a project, after you've come up with the idea, it needs to be approved. So learn those approval processes before you start doing any work. Communication protocols. What communication do they prefer? Channels do they prefer, and use them? So those first few moments are for learning the communication protocols, the approval procedures, the project management styles, such kind of things. You also need to understand the software. Most organizations use softwares for different tasks. So they'll probably give you access, but you need to learn how to use it by yourself. So those software that you'll be given access to, find out how they can be used and how you can benefit from them so that you can become effective in your work. So let me just stop sharing here for a moment. So I told you I'll be featuring insights from a remote worker so that she can guide us on what she did. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So Ruth is a remote worker at Codeless. Codeless is a marketing agency. It's based in the US, but with employees from all over the world. So she started this job early this year, and she says that she went through an onboarding week. So she was told the standard operating procedures, what is expected of her, what kind of work she can deliver. And that whole week was dedicated for nothing but learning the company processes. But she says that to fully grasp how things worked, she had to practice, hands-on practice with that system, and to engage with the tools that were available for her. So you'll be coming across tools that you've never heard of. So it's important you take time to use them, to practice them. If you need to take a tutorial on YouTube, go and take it so that you can use this system effectively. So while you are learning about the operating procedures, take time to interact with the tools that are available to you. The fourth and most important thing you need to do, one of the most important things you need to do, is to internalize the values of your new organization. Values are so important. You can be competent and good at your work, but if you're not operating within the company's the company's values, your work even may not even matter. it may not matter at all. So it's important that you take time to read those values. Why? Because these values will give you a foundation to build your work upon. So if the organization you're working on has a strong emphasis on customer focus, like one of their values is customer focus. They value customer focus. They want you to do everything with focus on customers, making them happy. Then you are doing work and you're not even thinking about the customers. You're not thinking if whatever you're doing will make your customers happy. And you could be doing great work, but if it doesn't align with the values, you are working amiss. You are not even going to last long in that organization. I'll give you an example. So my organization, the Kingdom Leadership Group, we have 3 values. 1 is excellence. 2 is going above and beyond. 3 is service. So in everything that we do, first of all, excellence, we need to make sure that we've done that assignment excellently. Excellently, we are not doing average, we're not doing bare minimum, we are going for excellence. So if I bring you on board to probably create content for us and you give me average content, I will not accept it. I will not accept it because it's not in line with our values. We are always looking to go above and beyond. Whatever you tell us to do, I will always look for something to go above and beyond that. Even if I'm the one who told you I will do this for you, the idea, the thinking behind my work, the mentality that I have is I need to go above and beyond what I told you I will do for you. So that is the values that we are holding ourselves to. So if you come on board and you do bare minimum and I give an assignment and you don't go above and beyond, you failed. You could have done it okay, but as long as it doesn't match the values we stand for, that's a failure. So it's really important to take time to internalize the values of the organization you're working for. And one thing you need to note is that values have associated behaviors. Values have associated behaviors. So when an organization tells you that their value, for example, is excellence, behaviors that are associated with this include striving for high standards, paying attention to details, competence, and continuously improving your skills and your results. So once you learn the values of the organization, step back and ask yourself, what actions and behaviors are associated with these values so that I can work towards them. It's very important. Values are everything. Values are everything, especially in this cancel culture world. Oh, values are everything. So I have an assignment here for you. So let's say you've landed a new remote role and the organization you are working for, here are their values. Their first value is integrity. They have this value of integrity. So what behaviors and actions can you associate with integrity? So you've landed this new role and they say that one of our values is integrity. What actions can you associate with that? Use the chat and help me with these answers. Can anyone tell me the behaviors we can associate with integrity? I'll give you one as you are thinking. One behavior we can associate with integrity is honesty at all times. Honesty at all times. Mass is saying don't do back deals, or we can say we are not cutting corners. We are not taking shortcuts. Mercy, that's a very, 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 very clever response. Thank you so much. Helen is saying delivering your work when necessary. That is before the deadline. That's yes. That is something you can associate with integrity. And we also have accountability. Yes, taking responsibility for your actions. So if this organization values integrity and you do something wrong, you take responsibility. Also, David is saying time management and trust. True, trustworthiness is very important. If the organization values integrity, you need to make sure that you are trustworthy. So David is also saying strong moral principles. Yes. So let's move to the next value. So if this organization values innovation, the values innovation, what behaviors do you think are associated with a company that values innovation? Let me give you one so to get you started. So if our company values innovation, creative thinking is one of their behaviors and actions. So in everything that you do, you need to be thinking creatively, thinking creatively. Mamadu is also saying sharing new ideas. So if there's a problem, you're coming up with new ideas. Yes, that is how you are settling into that company. You examine the values and you find the behaviors and actions associated with it. Yes, curiosity. Nice, nice. This is nice. Curiosity in problem solving, making a difference through creativity. Yeah, those are behaviors and values associated. We can associate with the value innovation. What about customer focus? So you've landed a new job and the thing they value the most is customer focus. And so let me give you one. And customer focus, you can say, like, you can take that mentality that the customer is always right. If a company values customer focus, they can say that if the customer, even if the customer complains, even if you know the customer is wrong, we'll always believe that they're right and we will respect that customer, as Ishimwe is saying. Also respecting the customers, I can see empathy, good communication skills, placing customers first. Helen, yes, that is right. So when you learn the value, don't just learn it at the surface level. Find those behaviors that are associated with that value so that you can live them. You can live and breathe them and make yourself valuable to that organization. So thank you so much for your feedback. That's amazing. So let's proceed here. This one is a big one. Ask smart questions. Ask smart questions. Just a moment. When you're new to a job, this is the time to ask questions. Make your questions smart. Don't just ask questions just because questions are there to be asked. When you land a new role, most of the times you will receive probably a document with the procedures for that organization. First of all, make sure you read that document. Most of the answers to the questions you may have about your new role are in those documents that you may receive. So take time to read those documents. But if you find that you still have more questions, think about those questions and make sure you're asking good questions. Don't repeat the same questions. When you will repeat that question several times, you'll make people angry. So you want to find great questions to ask that will help you settle in your new role. Most importantly, I want you to ask why questions, but do it with politeness, with humility. Why questions are very important because they help you understand the reasoning and the rationale behind certain decisions. I'll give you an example here. So normally when I do work, I like to, when I'm given an assignment, I like first of all to work on that assignment, finish it and make sure everyone is happy. And then after that is when I invoice. But I got a new remote role recently. And just after landing that job, they asked me to send my invoice. I'd not worked. I've not even been assigned the work, but they knew the budget for that assignment. So they told me, send your invoice immediately. But that's not how I normally work. So I asked, why? Why should I be sending this invoice and I've not even worked? Are you even sure I'll give you quality for the quality you're expecting? But they told me that that's a big organization and they have so many invoices that they're dealing with. And if I don't send that invoice at that moment, it would have taken me so long to be paid, which is not something they wanted to put me through. So the fact that they wanted me to send an invoice without even delivering the work, there is a reason behind that. So when you ask those why questions, you learn the reason behind decisions, behind processes. But you need to do it in a polite way. Don't be rude, like entitled or such kind of things. So when you ask why questions, they'll help you understand the context behind decisions, and they'll also show your commitment for understanding how things are done in your new organization. This one is a bit straightforward. You learn the communication preferences of your colleagues and co-workers. So probably some prefer WhatsApp. Some say you should only reach me through Slack. Others will say, I'm only available through emails. So find out what communication channels your members, your colleagues, your managers, they like, and use them. These are the things you need to do in the first few moments. So Ruth here says that she used the Codeless uses Slack mostly for work, and ClickUp as the project management tool. So that is for formal staff. For informal staff, informal communications, they communicate through social media platforms like WhatsApp and Facebook. So understand what your members like and stick to that. Then the last strategy I'll be sharing with you today is to develop a rhythm, that matches with the organization that you're working for. So here is about timing. So try to understand the times for your new organization, the working times for your new organization. Probably you are working for an organization in the US, you are based in Africa, so your times are off. So find the co-working hours and try and adjust your timing to that organization. In most cases, with the remote work, you will not be required to be fully present all the time. Probably during meetings, that is when you'll be required to show up. But other than that, you are free to do your work as long as you can deliver the work as expected. So find the times for key meetings, for check-ins, and note them so that you ensure that you are not being left behind. So another thing to note here when you are setting your times is to establish clear work hours, and communicate them to your team members. I'll give an example. So because with remote work, you may find that your morning is evening to someone else. The time you are asleep is when someone else is starting the day. So you need to establish your work hours and communicate with them so that they know that if I want to communicate with Kelvin, I can reach Kelvin during this and this time. Other than that, could be sleeping. So once you establish your work hours, communicate them to your team members so that they can know the right times to reach you. So let's move to session number 2, which is adjusting to a self-service mindset. I know most of you love what I'm sharing, the picture that you can see here. Most of you love buffets. So buffets, you serve yourself, you give yourself what you desire. So how do you adjust to that mindset? One thing with remote work is setup is on you. No one will come and set up an office for you. Your organization will not do it. When you have a problem with your computer, you have to troubleshoot and solve it yourself. They'll not send an engineer or an IT person to come and do it for you. So there's a lot of things you'll be doing by yourself. So it's important that you have this mindset that if something goes wrong, I will solve it. I'll be the one to solve it. No one is coming to save me. So that is why it's important to adjust to a self-service mindset. If you don't do this, you'll find yourself not able to do your work completely and you'll struggle. Another thing that most people struggle with when working remotely is supplies. Books, pens, laptops, tablets. In a normal organization, they'll give this to you, but now you are responsible for getting them by yourself. So manage your supplies well to ensure you don't run out of critical work supplies. So here is how to build a self-service mindset. First of all, you need to develop a can-do attitude. This is very important. The software you're using will stop working at some point. How do you fix it? With that can-do attitude, you start thinking on, let me go to YouTube and see how someone solved a similar challenge. You'll find a solution. So that can-do attitude is very important. Don't say that I'm incapacitated in tech, I don't know anything to do with tech. Most of the tech has been simplified so much right now, anyone can do things by themselves. So adopt that can-do attitude. Then you need to develop, learn IT skills, basic IT skills for installing software and hardware, and how to troubleshoot issues. So learn those. There is content online, so go to that content and learn those IT skills. Also, get comfortable with the software tools your company uses. So if they use ClickUp for project management, learn how to use it. You also need to embrace a mindset of continuous learning. This is very important. In a traditional setting, the organization can bring someone in to coach you in certain things. In remote work, you have to find resources for learning by yourself. So embrace the mindset that if I need to improve my skills in a certain direction, it's on me. The company probably are not aware that I need to develop in this certain area. So look at yourself, look at the skills that you need, and go and find the resources. Luckily, you people have Baobab. There's so many courses on Baobab that are in line with, could be in line with what we're looking to learn. So embrace that mindset of continuous learning. You also need to practice self-care. No one is checking up on you as much as you probably expect. So if you're not feeling well, if you need to talk to someone, reach out and talk to them. Also, be proactive in reaching out to team members. If you need help, in an office setting, someone can see you struggling and come and help you. If in remote work, probably they won't even know you're struggling until probably they see you are late with assignments. So be proactive in reaching out to your team and getting help. So that is how you develop a self-service mindset. So there are mistakes. This is the conclusion. Then you can jump into the quiz. These are the mistakes to avoid. There are 5, and I will quickly run through these mistakes. First of all is not establishing a work routine and structure. You need to establish a work routine and structure so that other people can know when to reach you, and also you can prime yourself to deliver quality work so that you identify the times of the day when you are most productive and work during those times. Another mistake is neglecting communication. So communication, when you are not communicating clearly, it can lead to errors, can lead to misunderstandings. You don't want that to happen. If you have a question, ask. If you need clarification on an issue before you send an assignment or a project, reach out to your manager or your team members. So don't neglect communication. Also, when you neglect it, it will make you feel isolated, and we don't want that. So the third mistake is not having a good workspace. Not having a good workspace. So you need to set up your office, you need to set up the place where you'll be working from. That responsibility is on you. Don't go for cheap products, go for the best seat, go for the best desk, go for good quality office supplies to ensure you're comfortable and you're working effectively. Also, don't isolate yourself. So when you feel like you need to talk to someone and something related to work, just reach out to a member privately and have that discussion. If you feel isolated, you will not enjoy your job. You will not enjoy your job and it will affect your performance. So don't really isolate yourself. And lastly is not documenting your learnings during onboarding. So when you are being taken through how to use the systems and processes, you need to be taking your notes. You need to be documenting important things so that you don't come and ask those questions again. It's frustrating for both of you and the person you're asking. So when you are learning something new, take notes so that you can have something to go back on when you need to work on that assignment or project. So these are the mistakes you need to avoid. Let me quickly go through them. First of all is not establishing a clear work routine and structure. The second is neglecting communication. The third is not having an effective workspace. Fourth is isolating yourself. And lastly is not documenting your learnings during onboarding. So we've come to the end of our presentation. And I asked Ruth to give a final word, and she said, don't be afraid to ask for help or clarification whenever needed. Don't be afraid to ask, because sometimes you could be ignoring asking for help or clarification, and this could force you to do the whole project again. So when you are not sure about something, reach out and ask and get that clarification, but make sure you're not coming back with that same question again. So ask, get the information, and and take note so that you don't forget it. So this is the end, and I'll welcome questions right now on what we've covered. So let me stop sharing. Let me open the chat and see if there are any question. I thank you. I'm really struggling with your name, Hikmat. I hope I've not butchered your name. So don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Not yet. And not yet. We have a quiz. So Hikimat, nice. Thank you, Hikimat. Thank you so much for that clarification. So I want to launch the quiz. This quiz will help us determine who will win the one-on-one mentorship on remote work. So let me so I'm launching the English version of the quiz. So I have shared the quiz. You can access it by going to click on more, then go to polls and quizzes, or polls and quizzes is already on your dashboard. If not, click on more, polls and quizzes, and access the English quiz. Or I believe it has appeared on your screen right now. So take the quiz. It's based on what we've covered, and it will help us decide who will win the one-on-one mentorship. So let me share the resources. As you're taking the quiz, let me share the resources that I promised you. So I have notes for you around what we've covered. It's a little bit detailed, so it will help you understand what we've covered today in greater depth. So I've shared to everyone on chat. So notes, they are also in French, so don't worry if you are a French speaker. The notes also have a French translation when you scroll down. And also let me share the toolkit. This toolkit will help you craft your own personalized journey to a new remote role. So in the notes and in the toolkit, you'll find my contact details. If you need any help, please use those details to get in touch. So I've shared the toolkit. I've also shared the notes, and I'll also be sharing them on Baobab once we're done with these. And you'll be able to get all the assistance that you need. So let me just go over a few questions. I believe people can see the quiz because I can see people are taking the quiz already. Yes, I can see people are taking the quiz. So if you cannot see the quiz, go to polls/quizzes at the bottom of your dashboard, or click on more and go to polls and quizzes. So I saw a very interesting question. Someone is asking, how do you get remote roles? How can you get a remote job? So you get a remote job, first of all, by searching for remote jobs and applying to remote jobs. So what skills do you possess? What area, what's your specialization? So if you are a digital marketer, you can look for digital marketing remote roles. If you are an accountant, look for accounting remote roles. If you are a coach, you can look for coaching remote roles. So to get the job, first of all, you need to assess your skills and you need to apply along those skills. Just search for remote roles and apply for those jobs that show up. Also, we did the first 4 of this workshop we did on particular roles and particular skills that you can develop and find yourself working remotely. So there were detailed lessons, phase 4, they're on our YouTube channel, Baobab, on YouTube. So you can find those recordings. We talked about social media marketing. That is, if you feel you don't have a skill you can offer remotely, you can check our YouTube channel. So I'll ask Kevin, please, you can share the link to our YouTube channels as I continue explaining. And I covered how you can develop those skills. So watch those videos. There are detailed instructions on how you can develop skills like social media marketing, SEO, content writing, and online tutoring. Yeah, and build up on those skills and have something you can offer remotely. So that is how you get a remote job. Also, someone is asking for the French version of the quiz. I'm launching it in the next few minutes. So I'm giving those who will need, Kelvin, you're saying you cannot access the shared links. So those links, I believe I had shared, I had given, let me quickly adjust the, so a few more seconds for the English quiz, a few more seconds. And then we will launch I can see 30 of you have done the English quiz, then I'll launch the French quiz. So I believe you cannot do edits. So anyone who has a link, anyone who has the link is a viewer. So you download the content, on that link. You cannot edit from that link, like especially the toolkit. So for the toolkit, make a copy of it. For the notes, download the notes. There's a download button. It's a Google Drive. So there's a download button, download it. Or you can just keep the link and be accessing it through the link. But I've not given you editing access because that content needs to remain as is to ensure we are not inconveniencing other people. So the link is not clickable. Grace, oh, let me see. Probably I've not enabled sharing, but I believe that should be something that you can fix right away. So in the meantime, let me end the English poll and launch the French quiz. So if you are a French speaker, I've launched the French quiz for you. It will be on your screen right now. So for the notes, you will need to sign in because it's in Google Drive. So probably you're not signed in into your Gmail. It's a Google Drive. So I think you need to sign in first, but anyone with the link can view the notes. Also, anyone with the link can also access the toolkit. So I can see 34 of you have done the English quiz. That is nice. Adolf is saying you cannot download the toolkit. The link, okay, cannot access both links. So Helen is saying is able to access. So I don't understand what is the issue there, but I'll be in touch with you. And on Baobab, I'll also see if we can have it sent to you on your newsletter. Okay, Kelvin, I've seen your email. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you once this is done. So the French quiz, no one has taken the French quiz so far. So if you need to take the French quiz, please take it. Then after this, we'll go over the questions briefly and we will see how you've performed. Okay, Grace has also shared email. Let me save that. I will share it with you also. But I believe you should be able to access the notes. They are not, I have not protected it. Yeah. If Olu has given us tips to use. So click the three dots on the top right hand of the screen, click share and export, click save as. Yeah, do that please. For the toolkit, make a copy, use make a copy. I think that will help you, make a copy.
Melvin?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like the French speakers aren't able to see the quiz. I'm wondering if Ermian can go ahead and direct them exactly on how to access that
Yeah,
quiz
because
in
no one is,
French.
yeah, no one is taking the French quiz. Hermione, please inform them to use, to click on polls and quizzes. And also if they cannot access, they cannot see polls and quizzes, let them click more and they will see polls and quizzes and then they'll see the French quiz. But I have launched it. It's on the screen right now. You should be able to see it on your screens.
Yeah, and let me just mention it. Donc, ça c'est pour Ali Dumba. Who else do we have here? I think Esdras, et Foussena, pour les francophones. Donc, allez sur Polls, et dès que vous cliquez sur Polls, vous allez voir le quiz en français, le questionnaire en français.
Yeah, I can see at least someone has done the French quiz. I'll also be doing a post on Baobab to direct you on how you can access the notes for those who are struggling. I also see if there's an option to send the PDF on Baobab and we'll see how we'll proceed from there. Okay, so let me just give a few more minutes to the French people. And after that, we will go over the quiz and see how you've performed. So just to inform you, we'll be noting the results and we will be sharing these results on our final session. So keep it here to know how you're faring. A few more minutes for the French, and then we will go over the answers. Okay, so I believe everyone has had time to do the quiz. So I will now end the French quiz and we will go over the results. So the first question was, when onboarding to a new remote job, why is it important to document your learnings? And we had a couple of choices over there. Then the correct answer was to understand company processes clearly and avoid asking the same questions repeatedly. That is why it's important to document your learnings. The second question was, why is it important to ask why questions when starting a new role? The answer was to understand the reasons behind processes and decisions. Yeah, I can see all of you got that question correct. Question 3 was, which is a common mistake to avoid when transitioning to a remote role? Okay, so this one was, so not establishing a clear work routine, that's a mistake. Not setting up a proper workspace, that's a mistake. Isolating yourself is a mistake. We covered that. So the correct answer is all the above. I can see 27 of you got that right. 6 of you did not get that right. You said answer A, but all the others are also correct. So question 4, how can you learn about the processes and systems in your new organization? So the correct answer was by exploring system tutorials and guides. That is how you learn about processes and systems. I can see there are few who selected by asking questions only when necessary. You only when necessary made that question not correct. So you should be asking questions if you feel you need more clarification. So the correct answer is by exploring system tutorials and guides. So question 5, effective communication in a remote work environment often involves utilizing a variety of communication tools depending on the preference of your manager and coworkers. That is what effective communication is, and I can see all of you got that right. Question 6, when it comes to company values in a remote setting, understanding, and the correct answer is understanding and aligning your work with the company values can help you make informed decisions and contribute more effectively. All of you got that right. So question 7 is, why does a self-service attitude in a remote work, what does it mean? It means taking ownership of finding the information and resources you need to do your job effectively. Only one person missed that, the rest of you got that right. So that is our quiz. You can see it's based on what we've covered, and we have taken note of the results, and we will be compiling them to know who has won. So that's the end of our session today. Thank you so much for joining and your participation, your active participation. You've made this session lively. I can see Shimwe is saying she has 7/7. Yeah, Shimwe, I know you're bright. 7/7 is standard for you. So thank you to all who've taken the quiz. Thank you for your participation. And we have another session coming up in a month's time. We'll be sharing the details with you. It's a series, so the content is kind of related, so you want to be here because what is coming next is building up on what we've learned today. And once you do all the 4 sessions together, it will build you up. So thank you so much, everyone. Gospel, thank you so much for finding this session insightful, and I believe you benefited from it. And thank you so much. Credo, you have something to say?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did we address, I see 3 questions in the Q&A.
Oh, Q&A. Let me just go to
Yeah.
Q&A. Yeah, 3 questions on Q&A. Yeah, Faith is asking, how do you know a genuine remote work from a fake one? And what sites can I apply for such? Because there are a lot of scammers online hiding in the name of remote work hiring teams. Okay, so for remote work, first of all, avoid hiring teams. Seek jobs that are posted on company websites. And if someone else has posted them, you want to verify with that organization. Probably platforms like FlexJobs can have such jobs, but go to that parent company and see if that job they're recruiting for that job. So also be on the lookout for addresses. Make sure they're genuine addresses. If it's an email that's recruiting, make sure it's a genuine email. But you really need to have a sharp sense to understand who is genuine and who is not, because there are a lot of scammers. So apply from company websites. Look at, if it's hiring agencies, make sure they are genuine and legit. Do your research. And one of the things that you'll know, a scammer always wants money from you. So if they ask you for money, if they ask you for facilitation fees, if they ask you for medical fees, that is fake. If they ask you to pay some money to have your application processed, those are fakes. No genuine organization will ask you for money. So be on the lookout for such certain things. David is saying, David is saying thank you. David, you're asking if to share this presentation. So I have something better for you. I have the notes. They are based on this presentation, and they'll give you more information. So David, I've shared that in the chat, but I'm also be sharing it on Baobab. So if you're on Baobab, I'll be doing a post and sharing there. You'll have the notes. Ishuma is asking, what advice do you have for someone who is struggling with communication and easily associate with the new environment, and he or she is taking a remote job for the first time? If you are struggling with communication, you just have to build up the courage to talk to people, because I don't think they can feel you or see you to know that they need to make that first move. So you really need to be courageous, and just be courageous and say, I'm going to talk, I'm going to develop these communication abilities, because people can't see you, they can't feel the anxiety so that they can make that first move. So if you are struggling, take that, build up that courage, and you will be able to find yourself communicating easily. So if Ife is asking if the results, I don't think we have individual results, but we will share them, but we have them at the back. We have them on the back end, and we will keep that in mind as we are deciding who has won. So I don't think there's another question on chat. Let me see if there's another one on David Ali saying this is timely. Yeah, David Ali, please use that toolkit. It will help you. It will help you create your own personalized journey as you're learning, as you're working on this new remote role. So if we don't have any other question, I believe you can, unless I'm missing something, I believe you can leave and have a lovely night. To our partners in America, have a lovely day ahead. Thank you so much for joining. Helen, thank you so much. Nestori, thank you for enjoying our session and gaining value from it. So if there's nothing else, I'd like to wish you a lovely rest of the day ahead, and feel free to use the content and the resources to build yourself up. So bye-bye.
Beyond the skies, you and I, we're breaking bounds on bounds.